Should I roll over my 401k to a traditional IRA? Or said another way, should I roll over my old 401k to a traditional IRA? And we're going to talk about the pros and the cons. So let's talk about why you should not roll over your 401k to an IRA. Well, the first reason why you should not roll over your 401k to an IRA is you're still working at your job and you're under the age of 59 and a half. If you have a current 401k with your job and you are under the age of 59 and a half, you are not allowed to roll over your 401k to an IRA. Simple as that. But let's go to number 2, why you should not roll over your 401k to an IRA. If you are 55 and you're still working and you have a current 401k and you're considering retirement, you're considering quitting your job at 55 and walking into the retirement lifestyle, you should not roll over your 401k for one simple reason: the rule of 55. The rule of 55 allows you to use your current 401k if you leave your job in the year that you turn 55 or any time between ages 55 and 59, and you can use that 401k for retirement income without paying a 10% penalty. Now remember, if you roll your 401k over into an IRA and you are 56 years old and you start taking money out of that IRA, you're going to pay a 10% penalty for taking retirement income out of your traditional IRA. Now there's ways around that, 72Ts, there's some hardship provisions, but we're not going to get into that, because what I'm trying to implore you to do today is, if you're going to retire at 55 and your current 401k has enough money to sustain your retirement income lifestyle between ages 55 and 59 and a half, leave it in the 401k and use the rule of 55. Now, let me give you a little secret here. If you are thinking about retiring at 55 and you have old 401ks or old IRAs somewhere else, do a reverse rollover into your current 401k and use that money, the rule of 55, when you decide to retire. All right. Now, the other reason why you should not roll over your 401k into an IRA is because there's increased creditor protection under ERISA with your 401k, and it's protected from bankruptcy. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so we're not going to get into too much of that, but if you're in a situation where you think you're going to file for bankruptcy, leave your 401k alone. Do not roll over your 401k into a traditional IRA. And lastly, the reason why you should not roll over your 401k into an IRA is because IRAs do not offer loans. Now, I'm not a huge fan of taking a loan off of your 401k, but 401ks do allow you to take money out as a loan. You pay an interest rate on that when you're paying it back, but it does allow you to take money out of your 401k as a loan that has to be paid back. Now, if you decide to roll over your 401k and you still have an outstanding loan, that will be considered traditional ordinary income. You'll pay income taxes on that. If you're under the age of 59 and a half, you will pay a 10% penalty. But if you foresee yourself needing cash quickly, you can use a 401k loan, and that would be a reason not to roll over your 401k into a traditional IRA. All right, let's talk about why you should roll over your 401k into a traditional IRA. And the first reason why you should roll over your 401k into a traditional IRA is because you have more investment choices. Normally inside of a 401k, they give you a booklet of mutual funds that you're allowed to invest in. Not many 401ks allow you to buy stock or to buy really anything. So you have this booklet of funds that might say equity, bond, alternatives, international, and you're stuck with those 12 to 20 mutual funds. Well, if you roll over your 401k into an IRA, let's say you move it to TD Ameritrade or to Charles Schwab or to Fidelity, at that point, you can really invest in just about anything. If you want to buy Apple stock or Meta stock or Home Depot or whatever, you can do that. You want to buy a mutual fund? You can do that. You want to buy an ETF? You can do that. You want to use your money for alternative investments inside your IRA? You can do that. there's no limitations on what you can buy inside of your IRA. So it gives you more investment choices. Now let me say this, you need to understand why you are rolling over your 401k to an IRA, and does it make sense for you, so you have the confidence going into that. And I can help you with that. In the description below is the way to get in touch with me. And if you want help rolling over your 401k into an IRA, or if you just need the confidence to know you're making the right decision, reach out to us and we can certainly help you with that. Now, another reason why you would want to roll over your 401k to a traditional IRA is normally there's lower investment fees. Now, what do I mean by that? Recently, I was working with a client to roll over her 401k to an IRA. The mutual funds inside of her 401k charged an expense ratio inside of that mutual fund. Well, the expense ratio was actually higher, and there weren't any other choices inside of her mutual fund basket than what she could get on the open market. So we rolled her 401k over to TD Ameritrade, and then we were able to use low-cost index funds, and we saved her money just internally because her fees were less. Now, I understand it's different per 401k and per IRA, and so that's why it's very important for you to have the confidence when you're rolling over your 401k into a traditional IRA. Now, another reason why you should roll over your 401k to an IRA is you can convert your IRA to a Roth IRA. We do tax planning here at Pearl Wealth Group and Your Financial EKG, and a lot of our tax planning involves Roth IRA conversions, meaning moving money from IRA, paying the taxes now, and putting it into a Roth IRA. Now, it doesn't matter how old you are, you can do an IRA to Roth IRA conversion. There's no 10% tax penalty, you just pay the taxes on the conversion, but you can't do that inside of a 401k. So if you have an old 401k and you're doing tax planning, if you're saying, can I retire at 50? If you're doing retirement planning at age 50, then you need to be looking at tax planning, and being able to move money from IRA to Roth IRA is huge when it comes to retirement tax planning. I've done many videos on here about Roth conversion strategies and how you can do it and keep your taxes low and convert money from IRA to Roth IRA. So that's another reason why you would want to roll over your old 401k to an IRA. Now, let me give you a little tip here, another tip for you. If you're over the age of 59 and a half, many 401k plans allow you to roll over a portion of your 401k to a traditional IRA. Now, you just have to contact your plan administrator and ask them if that's something you can do. But if you're over the age of 59 and a half and you're wanting to do tax planning, but you plan on working for another handful of years, then you might have the option to do that. And again, that's something we can certainly help you to do to give you confidence when you're rolling over your 401k to an IRA. Now, another reason why you would want to roll over your 401k to an IRA is simply consolidation. If you have old 401ks, let's say you've changed jobs 3 or 4 times, you have old 401ks at different firms, and you're just trying to consolidate your assets, moving all of your 401ks into the same custodian, into the same IRA, at least helps you out when it comes to managing and organizing your finances. Now, I understand there's many of you who watch this channel who are very astute with your finances, and you know exactly where all your money is. You have apps that control and can see everything. But a lot of my clients and a lot of individuals I talk to aren't necessarily organized financially. And so if you have old 401ks and even old IRAs that you're not looking at anymore, it makes a lot of sense to consolidate them into the same location so that you can have all your accounts on one login screen, one statement, and you can feel confident going into your financial future. All right? So I hope this has helped answer the question, should I roll over my 401k to an IRA? Thank you so much for watching. God bless. Bye-bye.